cannot let anybody hijack our service, ever. So if somebody is unwilling to cooperate with us and sit there and be quiet and listen, or whatever else is appropriate at the time, then they can't stay in there. And we're not going to let anybody rob 200 people from their worship experience with God because they're something. So that's why we're talking about this. Mentally unbalanced and disruptive persons. The tenor of our times has created a climate where increasingly we may be exposed to mentally unbalanced persons. It's the responsibility of every usher to watch for unbalanced or disruptive persons or actual threats to the leadership on the platform or any other member of the congregation, in order to avert many disruptors and even in some instances of tragedy. So you want to keep an eye on the congregation in front of you, be alert for unusual movement. If you see somebody you don't know, and instead of cooperating, participating in what's going on, you see them looking around, eyeballing people, assessing, that's an alert, right? Watch this person. Something's going on here. And you might want to go get somebody else that's in this room. There's Bill sitting over there. You might slip over and say, Bill, I don't know, I just got an uneasy feeling about that guy right over there. Let's watch him. He's just, something's wrong here. Sometimes you can't really put your finger on it, you just sense something's wrong. And that happened to me one time. We were late on this guy. I saw this guy come in, and I saw him out in the lobby, and he was standing around, he wasn't talking to anybody, and he was all tatted up and had on a vest with a t-shirt under it, no sleeves, and he had on a Confederate flag bandana tied around his head and sunglasses. He was inside, he had sunglasses on. I just sensed, I said, we have biker people, but there was something about this guy. I just said, I don't know, I just sensed it, but I just brushed it off, went and sat down in the sanctuary, and our pastor preached in front of a curtain. And so when the choir was finished, the curtain would shut. And he was in front of the curtain. So he was about a fourth of the way through his message, and all of a sudden I saw the curtain moving a little bit, and out steps this guy right out of the curtain and walks right up to the pastor on the platform. Said, I got something to say. And and nobody knew what to do, and I thought, and the pastor turned to him and said, well, we're having a service right now. He said, I got something to say. And the pastor said, I'll tell you what. I want you to go right down there with that guy. He pointed to me. Go right down there with that guy right there. And he's going to take you out to the lobby. And as soon as I'm finished here, then I'll come back there and you can tell me what you have to say. Okay? All right. So I step up there, I tell the guy, and we go out, and he was just a nut, But I look back on that and say, I sensed something about that guy. And I just blew it off. And he could have walked out there and shot my pastor before anybody could have got hold of it. Now, thank God, he was one of the harmless mentally unstable people. But there are harmful mentally unstable people too. So keep an eye out, okay? Observe facial expressions, strangers entering the building for any telltale signs of violent or argumentative nature. If you see such a person, do not attempt to confront them, but notify leadership and other ushers. Like I said, Carl, Bill, this guy, let's just watch him. If someone moves toward the stage or any member of the leadership team when not invited, then you want to move with them, be prepared to prevent them from getting on stage. Okay? So if you see somebody, usually you have your eye on them beforehand because you've sent something. You're watching them. And if you see them make a dart toward the stage, that's when you want to move, and you want to move quickly. All right? Don't let them get on the platform. And then wait for instructions, because I'll see it too, and I'll take over. But, and always keep your eye on the speaker for signals if there's a disruptive person. So, you know, if you see me and you see me do something like this, or, you know, then just sort of help me keep an eye out. What do I do when I get there? There's no way to dictate what you do, because you don't know what they're going to do. But a rule of thumb is you want to try to get them out with as little chaos as possible. Use your words first. Please. We got someone who can help you. But don't let them get on the platform. Okay? I went down to San Antonio and to a conference with what's the preacher down there? John Hagee. And they were in service one time, and when I was in service that day, and we met with him first, and we went out there, and he had bodyguards all around him. So when we were at the conference the next day, we asked him, why all the bodyguards? And he said, well, we were in here one Sunday having church. I was up there preaching. A guy got up about the middle of the sanctuary, started walking down the aisle toward me. He said, I saw him coming. Everybody saw him coming. And he got right in front of the pulpit and reached in his pocket, pulled out a revolver, and at point blank range, shot 5 times right at me. And all 5 bullets missed. And because he was shooting up, missed everybody behind him. And he got the 5th shot off before anybody moved. So now they're trained, you know, if you got to go to the bathroom, you better go to the back in this church. Don't be moving forward, because you're not going to get to the platform anymore. Now, was it angels? Was he just a bad shot? Those of you who shoot guns know it's harder to hit somebody than you think with a pistol. Who knows? But all 5 shots missed the pastor. But I also know stories of pastors who've been shot dead right in their pulpit. So, you know, if you see somebody coming to the platform, I promise you, there's not, if you don't know them especially, this is not good. You don't have to discern that. We don't want them to get up there. And we sure don't want anybody coming here shooting our people.
You know, Pastor, example you started out with it earlier about the one in Tennessee. People caught that in the article, but that was a 22-year-old usher who brought that guy down.
Yeah.
Got pistol whipped for doing it, but he stopped. And that guy was the worst case.
Yeah.
Dared to randomly kill. And you know, I don't think they gave that guy enough credit, man, but 22-year-old took him down and made sure he stayed down until...
Yeah, that's right. It was the usher that did it, and it should have been. Who else? You're the ones. there is no one else in the church. You're it. So okay, and then I'm done. First of all, we need God's wisdom and protection. So take your job very seriously. Pray, pray, pray. Pray before you come. Lord, protect our church today. Lord, dispatch your angels to hover over our sanctuary. If there's danger, beat them off. Beat them off the property, Lord. Lord, give me wisdom today, whatever I face. Help me to be the protector of the congregation. Help me, I don't want to hurt anybody today. Help me to represent you. Help me to be Christ personified, so that when people see me, they see you. Show up, prayed up. That's how I teach pastors over the university. Show up, prayed up. Don't come to get prayed up. Show up, prayed up, full of the Holy Spirit, and ready to minister. You are the first, last, and only recourse for protecting the sanctity of God's house. There's nobody else. We don't hire security guards around here. You're it. Okay? You're the first, you're the last, and you're the only. Remember, you represent our wonderful Lord in everything you say and do. Kindness, gentleness, joy of the Lord. You represent Christ. And the last thing I want to say is God is going to bless you for your willingness to serve. Not everybody is, but you are. And God's going to bless you for it, and you can expect those blessings for your willingness to serve this congregation. Now, my prayer is that in a few years, when I'm retiring and you guys there's a different person sitting at this thing, that there's no stories to tell. That's my prayer. I just pray between now and then, we don't have one story to tell. No story about anybody falling, no story about anybody getting hurt, no story about some nut coming in the church, no story about anybody committing suicide. I don't want any story. I got enough stories to last me the rest of my life. But I promise you that we will have. Okay? There's going to be. My prayer is that there won't be, but I've been around this long enough to know that you get people together and sometimes things happen. So be prepared, be ready, and just know that I love you and I thank God for your service to this congregation and to the Lord. Well, Carl, that's all I've got.
Well,
This was my Reader's Digest version. And how long did that take, by the way?
41.
41 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
Any questions anybody has of me? Well, then we're going to take a 5-minute break. Is that all right, Carl?
Sure.
And then you'll come back in for the rest of your time with Carl, and I'm going to slip out. But I love you, man. Thank you so much for your service. And again, you're the ones, okay? You're the ones. All right. God bless you.